You're listening to Conquering Retirement with Annuity FYI. Real strategies, real stories, no sales pitch. Join Tom Hamlin and his expert guests so that you can make smarter moves faster. Hit that subscribe button and let's conquer retirement together.
Yeah!
Woo! Woo!
Hammy, your bad joke has over 1,000 views already. Can you believe that?
I have more.
Oh, he has so many more bad
There's
jokes.
more where that came from.
So many more
Oh,
bad
wait,
jokes. We're just getting started. Welcome, guys. Tom, I love your jacket today. Look how fancy you are. And Brian, you look wonderful today.
It's an important day.
So I have Tom Hamlin here and Brian Hamlin here, my two very special guests that I get to hang out with every day in real life. But, you know, with you guys and the listeners and the viewers, we get to hang out every couple weeks. I have Tom Hamlin. He's been in the industry for 35 years, and we'll talk a little bit more about that today specifically. And then I also have Brian Hamlin, Tom's protege, as you might say. He's also his son. And I get the pleasure of working with Brian in-house in real life every single day. So it's so wonderful to have you guys here. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Meg.
And Tom, I'm so glad you dressed up in your very special blazer for this very special episode.
At least on top. You don't know what I'm wearing down below.
So this episode is more of a celebration than anything. We're here to celebrate 25 years of service and gratitude because it's the 25th anniversary of AnnuityFYI.com.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really meaningful for any business to be around for 25 years nowadays, let alone something that helps so many people. We've been
Couldn't
able
have
to
done
help.
it without you.
You were able to help thousands upon thousands of not just retirees, but families and also advisors who come to our website for support. And that's why we're here. That's why we love doing this so much, is because we're all people who like to add value to other people's lives. So I just want to thank the listeners who have been tuning in with us, whether it's watching us on YouTube. I hopefully you're getting to know us and become like friends and family here. Also, we'll be having some special guests today that you actually haven't met before. So we're going to be introducing some of the team members that help us put the show on, that help Annuity FY be what it is today, and some of the team members that help clients every day. So Tom, you're the main man. You're the person that I'd like to kind of get to kick this off today. Like I said, you've been here from the beginning, and I'd like you to go ahead and share how Annuity FYI started. What brought the idea on? You're an idea man. I know that. I know so much about you, and so you're the right person to bring it there. But do you want to kind of take it away?
Yeah, thank you, Meg. Okay, so go back to circa 1988 when I got into real estate and had a couple of banner years in the real estate market before we had a deep recession beginning in 1990. Back then, I was looking through the newspaper trying to figure out what I was going to do next because the real estate market was completely dead in Southern California, Burbank, Hollywood Hills, Studio City, where I was selling real estate. And I came across an ad in the paper, make $100,000 or more your first year. And candidly, I didn't care what that was as long as it was legal and it added value, which is one of the things that you just said. As long as you are never stepping on another person to achieve your goals, that's a righteous endeavor, in my opinion. We're always trying to add value. We're always trying to make people's lives better. And that's something that has never changed. And it was something that was instilled in me from a very early age. So the company ultimately that I ended up going to work for was a company in LA called Independent Advantage Financial that is now out of business, has been for some number of years. The founders of that company went on to do something else after the other top producer and myself, Jeff Foster, left that company in 1994 and headed to Prudential. But briefly, here's what they did. Back in the day, prior to the internet, was advertising in newsletters, and people paid a lot of money for newsletters, financial newsletters. That's where they received the best information and intel. And they paid a lot of money, as much as $1,000 or more a year back then, to have these newsletters. And we would do inserts on the top 6 fixed annuities or top 6 variable annuities. We called it the honor roll. We had an audio cassette tape with William Donahue of the Money Letter, and some old timers listening to this would remember the Donahue Money Letter and Kiplinger's and a number of other magazines and newsletters. So fast forward, we left there and we ended up reproducing what we were doing at IAF at Prudential Securities. And we had a big marketing budget and we were doing lots of mailers. And back in the IAF days, we were doing 100,000 to 300,000 mailers a month. Okay. So imagine just what that looked like. That was expensive. And so the phone would ring and we would talk to people all over the country. And that's how I ended up with people in every state and clients in every state. Then a lot of these people, these newsletters had people leave and move outside the country because you could live comfortably off of a Social Security check. And so I have a lot of clients, and we have a lot of clients that live internationally, at least part-time. So when we left Prudential, it was 1997 May. And so now we're catching up. My business partner, Tom Harding, came into the office and said, pull this up. And I pulled it up, and it was a website, and it was his website. And he said, I built this in an hour last night. And so, that was kind of the beginning.
What kind of website was it? Do you remember?
That was called cshares.com, which I said, that is an awful name and nobody's ever going to do any business with that site. But he came in another day and said, he goes, get online and start reserving URLs. They just expanded the number of characters you could have in a URL. I think it was like to 25 or something. And so we started buying up everything that had the word annuity in it. And he got Annuity Insider and I got Annuity FYI. And we also got a number of other sites. But ultimately in 2000, we built out Annuity FYI with my ex-brother-in-law, Jeff. I called it the Friends and Family Special for $30,000. It came with a website and some service. And I put all of the expenses for that on my a Chase card I had, and that had no balance. And I said, every expense that comes in from the website, I'm going to put it on this card. And every time an inquiry or a lead generates business, I'm going to use it to pay down the card. And it was paid for in 3 months because there were only 2 other sites out there that were really annuity oriented, immediateannuities.com and annuity.com. We just want the very best product for you. And so we would always show up with the very best offering because we don't have, and we never had, that kinesthetic type relationship where we had somebody in our office. We're doing business over the telephone. And this is way before Zoom, just after the advent of the internet. So we always had to show up with our A game, and we couldn't just kind of gauge what somebody was being shown by somebody else. And we didn't want to do that anyway. We just wanted to show up with the very best product for the consumer to be able to help them achieve their retirement goals. And it's always been our goal to help them exceed it, get them retired earlier and keep them retired for the rest of their lives.
You think of all the people that have come to the website every single day, and then, they tell their friends, and then they use the site, and this is over years and years and years and years. And now it's, been 2.5 decades. I mean, it's crazy to think.
It's literally a lifetime.
My lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really. And whether you use the site and then you end up reaching out, which is kind of always what we recommend. But, the whole reason that Annuity FYI was put in place was before this, you couldn't go and research annuities on the internet on your own time, dead of the night, and just, kind of browse around and peruse and not just product specific things, but also just education and learning about, what are these terms? What do they mean? How does this work? And putting that power, in the hands of the consumer.
That's great, Brian. Thank you. And yeah, back before Annuity FYI, people used to also they would go to the library to get information. They'd look through like the AM Best Guide and the Weiss book and Fitch, which used to be called Duff and Phelps, and Moody's and S&P, but that gave them ratings. But now what do? And they would call insurance companies and ask what their rates they were paying. And, so yeah, how many calls are you going to make? I mean, we post the top rates from over 800 insurance companies. And we have those tools on Annuity FYI. And, it's always my goal. I call it planting shade trees under which I know I'll never sit. I don't have to get a piece of everything, but I do like to add value because I believe that casts a positive energy out into the universe that, even though I didn't directly help that person, I indirectly helped them because they received valuable information from our
Yeah.
website that helped them make the right choice and a better decision for themselves and their family.
Yeah, and if just to add to that really quickly, I mean, you talk about indirect help. I mean, y- now post COVID, post 2020, everyone loves doing business over Zoom, and not as many people work in a physical office than they used to. Just kind of more over, business over the internet. But you did that kind of before it was cool, before everyone was, oh, let's do a Zoom call or something like that. You did it at a time where it wasn't as prevalent. And, I'd say really, I think I think the whole theme of this is just putting power in the hands of the consumer. And, a lot of other people have kind of picked that up. So even if someone's kind of never went to Annuity FYI, went to our site before, well, they still very well may have gotten information online, and you're one of the people who kind of trailblazed that path, kind of, so to speak.
Tom, Brian, that was wonderful. I think it's really important for people to hear just kind of the passion behind Annuity FYI and the goals. And I think that actually provides a lot of insight as to who you both are. So thank you so much for sharing that. So next up, we have another special couple guests. We have Derek Stamos. He's one of our Annuity FYI advisors. And we also have a story from his client Hal, who I've had the pleasure of having lunch with as well, and he's wonderful. They're going to go ahead and tell a little bit about their dynamic and Annuity FYI and how it's helped them.
Well, thanks for joining us on Conquering Retirement with Annuity FYI, and congratulations to Annuity FYI on their 25th year anniversary. Yeah, Hal, thanks for being here. Very much appreciate it. I know you've been retired for a while, Hal, and what were your main goals and concerns as you started planning for retirement?
Well, I had the typical concerns that any person planning for retirement has, outliving your money and being able to manage investments to have sufficient funds to do whatever it is you'd like to do uh, without inflation eating it all up.
Exactly. Perfect. And then can you share a little bit how you first discovered Annuity FYI?
I started investigating since I had some background of annuities and how they worked. I just went online and looked at the different types of annuities that were available, and some came up that I was not familiar with. So I pursued it and came up with you.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. We ran a lot of illustrations for you, Hal. That was I learned a lot during that period. That was great. Because I know we did all the 1 year point to points, 2 year point to points, all the indexes. There's a lot of illustrations, and I can appreciate that. You did your due diligence. You did it very well.
Well, I wasn't familiar with, I had this fixed annuity. I wasn't familiar with fixed indexed annuities, and you gave me a great education.
And next question, Hal, what does retiring with confidence mean to you personally?
Very simple, and this is an old cliche, but it's the sleep factor. To have the money invested in such a way that when you go to bed at night, you're not worrying about, well, is the market going down? What are my investments doing? Am I going to have enough money to continue through retirement? So I like to be secure in knowledge to the best that you can, knowing that there are risks in all investments, to know that my money is safe and that I'm going to be able to accomplish all of my retirement plans.
Exactly. I remember how you said, Derek, one thing to remember is when it comes to retirement or investments, keep it simple. And if you don't understand it, don't do it. And I love that saying because it's true. It's, I love keeping things simple. And if you don't understand it, try to get educated. And if it doesn't make sense, don't do it. But, at the end of the day, you want to keep it simple and as safe as you possibly can.
Absolutely. And you were able to do that for me. And over the years, I've gained confidence. And as you're well aware, I've expanded my portfolio with you considerably.
Yes, you have. And we appreciate that, Hal, very much. Looking back, what part of the process with Annuity FYI gave you the most peace of mind?
Well, I can remember the first call that I had with you, and Tom Hamlin came on the phone, and I had a bunch of questions, and I sort of interviewed you and Tom to do my due diligence. And the thing that I liked best was that you asked very, very few questions. The basics. What was my risk tolerance? What did I have experience in investing in before? What I was looking for in the future? Uh, and you listened. You listened to what it was that I had to say. There was no pressure to buy any products, and you took that information and came back to me with quite a long list of potential opportunities that I might be able to invest in. And then I, did my usual grinding down to the nitty gritty to understand each one. And we selected a few and moved on and began the relationship.
Absolutely. And then last question, Hal. How has having a trusted advisor impacted your sense of security in retirement?
Oh, I think a great deal. I don't worry about my investments. I don't worry about whether I'm going to outlive my money. In fact, it looks like through prudent investment, I'm going to be able to leave something for the children, and it's given me a great peace of mind. As you're well aware, I like to travel. I'm gone 3 or 4 months of the year traveling around the world. I like to play golf. Fortunately, I'm still able to play golf 3 times a week. And I have sufficient funds through my investments to be able to do this and to live a comfortable life.
Yeah, we love that. That's what it's all about, Hal. You
Yes.
know what hole that is behind me?
It looks like, is that Augusta?
It is. Good job.
Yeah.
What hole?
Is that the 12th?
Good job.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I've watched a little bit of golf in my life.
I know you have. We're both avid golfers. I mean, you play more golf than I do now, but it's my goal too in retirement is to, play a lot of golf and stay healthy. Hal, I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. It's been an honor to work with you, since 2019. We really appreciate your trust and confidence in us. And I've learned a lot through you and your expertise as well, Hal. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Well, you're more than welcome, Derek. And I want to thank you and Tom and Megan and all of the people in the office that I got to meet when I was there in Portland a few months ago for the great job that they've done for me, especially Megan. She does a terrific job. And as you're aware, there's a lot of paperwork that goes back and forth on these annuities.
Absolutely.
And you always Dick and Jane for me where I had to sign, what I didn't have to sign with these little markers, and was able to sign it and mail it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's, the A team is so important to us. So, we want to be where we're at without the A team. So thank you, A team.
Amen.
Next up, you guys, I'm so happy to have two extra special guests again. I have Greg Shaughnessy and Andrew Murdoch here. They're two very important parts of our Annuity FYI team and our Somerset team. So they're here to join Tom and me in talking about how the industry has changed over the past 25 years. They're each going to have their own perspective that's important and unique. So, Andrew, I wanted to kind of get your take on retirement then and now. That can mean anything from the products that existed, for instance, when you were at Morgan Stanley, before you came to Somerset Annuity FY, and what the market is like today. Anything else you want to add? Just give a little color in terms of the 25 years.
Sure. I'd say that the biggest change and the biggest shift really was a function of the mortgage crisis of 2008, 2009. And that is when I got here originally, it was really the golden area of variable annuities. They weren't too good to be true. They were just too good to last. And we had the most robust, lowest expense variable annuities that really were the flag in the top of Everest that just simply haven't come back. And so at that
With
time,
guaranteed lifetime income. Don't forget that part.
yeah,
That's what
yeah, it was really driven by guaranteed minimum income benefits. Flag on the top of Everest, they were 6% GMIBs from four companies, and Tom and I funneled a ton of money into those companies because it was they just didn't make sense. I mean, they were low cost, significant benefits because in financial planning you should pull 3 to 4%, but we were able to pull 6% and guarantee our clients would never run out of money. And then when in 2008, 2009 happened and the markets tailed down, the insurance companies realized their errors and their ways, and they pulled in their horns, dropped the benefits by about 20%, and increased the fees by about 40%. So never to come back. And that's the biggest change, I think, since I've been here.
And I will
And
say, Andrew, I mean, I think I saw something the other day, but we have clients still adding to those products because you could add to them. So they are still, the people that had them or seeded them are still very much enjoying the fruits of those.
Yeah, they're grandfathered in. I mean, and I just had 50,000 or 75,000 come in yesterday for split between two policies, adding to those plans, pulling 6% income stream, never having to worry about extending their benefits even further. Yeah, I mean, the insurance company doesn't like it, but who cares?
So since
And then
then,
down the road,
oh, go
don't
ahead.
forget that when they annuitize in their 80s, let's say they run out of money and they've been taking income all those years and their proverbial $1 million is now $10,000, they can go and they've been getting 60,000 a year for the last 18 years. Now they can go ahead and annuitize the original million, and the rates are as high as 9+% at age 84, age 85 for the rest of their life. And if they annuitize earlier, of course, the payment would be a little lower, but they'd get a lot more than 6. So those were really incredible. And fast forward to today, the guaranteed lifetime income that you could receive off of something that you can still get today. Speaking of, the flag in the top of Everest, we have a new flag in the top of Everest in 2025, where the investors can increase their rates 40 to 70% over what they could get back just 4 years ago in 2021, because interest rates were zero back then. And because of COVID, we have, a bunch of artificial inflation that was generated after throwing 10 trillion, give or take, in the friends and family bonfire at the beach, as I call it, all those logs. But the rates today are higher. I mean, we have a meeting today with a 59-year-old client, and if she defers her income for 2 years, her guaranteed lifetime income will be at 61, 33% higher than 6%. So her income, instead of being 30, will be 40,000. That's incredible. And you can do that today. And we don't anticipate that will last. So that's one of the monumental changes. And everything shifts. I mean, you have to be able to pivot. And that's one of the beautiful things about the annuity industry is there's still over 800 insurance companies, and we can work with all but 4 of them. And they're constantly coming out with different product, and we're able to pivot because we don't have an axe to grind with any of these insurance companies. We maintain our independence, and we're very proud of that.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much, Tom. I heard you use the word pivot there, and I'm going to go ahead and use that to have introduce Greg into the conversation. I'm not just pivoting to you, but also I think you're going to talk about running Annuity FYI and some of the pivots that we've had to make over the years because the internet's changing. And so do you want to kind of take it away, Greg?
Early on, most of the information we were just trying to put out information, general education type information. And it was a lot of people came to us through search. So they would find us in the search engines, and it was mostly long format text. But as time has gone on, now we're doing a lot more video content, obviously. And people find us all over the place, not just search anymore, but social media platforms, YouTube. So the scope has really increased. And I think, being here so long and different iterations of the website, it's funny because, we've seen other sites copy us, which is flattering, but copy the site and elements of the site. And we've had to continuously evolve as the internet has grown. But I think once that general information became kind of super saturated, you could find, what is an annuity articles all over the place on multiple sites. We had to differentiate and we had to grow. And the focus there was adding value, like high value content. And now we have, some of the high value add features that we've added to the site over the years to differentiate ourselves from the others are real-time quotes for income and fixed annuities. The top picks, which is proprietary to, Somerset and Annuity FYI. Every month, a new set of the top annuities are published. And that's great, especially coming from an independent, unbiased independent firm where you're able to share, this is the best of the best, not just what someone else's advisor might be selling at the time. And then this podcast. I mean, the podcast has been a great addition. And I think as we talk about, what's going on today and my focus for the site today and in the future, it's obviously adding things that continue to provide high value to the visitors of the website. And I think there's two themes that I want to keep in mind. It's meeting people where they are. Okay. So meeting people where they are in terms of pre-retiree, approaching retirement, or newly recently retired. And then the other thing is meet them where they are in terms of what platform they're on. People are so loyal to platforms, whether it be YouTube or Facebook or X. And we want to be able to provide content, valuable content to folks where they are. It's been a fun journey, and I'm really excited about the website continuing to evolve, both the technology and consumer behavior and user behavior. It's been a fun ride, guys, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be on it with you.
We appreciate you, Greg. Thank you.
Yeah, and Greg, it's also
Thank you.
it's always great to have you. We, those of you listening don't know, but we meet with Greg and his team at least every week. And it's, sometimes we're so caught up on the advisory side of everything that we get a little jaded. So Greg and his team are always there to remind us to stay client focused, customer focused, and that brings a lot of value to our team. So thank you so much, Greg.
Well, it's been great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Wonderful. Next, we're going to bring Brian back on. I feel like I miss him. I haven't seen him in a while. So he's going to join us, and we're going to go ahead and answer some questions, do some quick kind of spitfire questions. Welcome back, Brian.
Hey, it's good to be back.
Thank you. I was telling them I missed you. I feel like, you're such a vital part of this. It's been a while.
I feel like it's been a lifetime.
Yeah. So we have Andrew back with us. He did so well, and we loved having him so much on the previous conversation that we thought we would have his insight into this next segment that is a little fun game we have planned.
And he's just so knowledgeable,
He's
too.
very knowledgeable. Yeah. So I have some secret questions that none of you guys have seen yet, and we're just going to do a quick rapid fire. Tom, this is specific for you. We just want, kind of some short questions just so we can get through all of them, but feel free to riff off of each other and, and have a
You
dialogue.
probably
like.
mean short answers.
Yes,
or
Pardon me, short
responses.
answers. Thank you.
Uh,
Long-winded
yeah,
question.
keep your questions short so I can have you a long answer.
Okay. So I'm just going to go for it. Like I said, no one has seen these questions yet. So let's just see how knowledgeable these men are. All right. So these are topics that come up in everyday questions from our clients. Should I worry about inflation? Tom, do you want to take
Yes.
it away?
Absolutely. You should worry about inflation a lot.
Next person. No, I'm just
Inflation
kidding.
is the greatest concern that anyone should have about their portfolio. It's greater than stock market risk. It's greater than real estate risk. It will
Already
erode
too long.
your portfolio rapidly, and you need to have a hedge against inflation. And we believe that annuities do a fantastic job of that. Contact us and we'll show you how.
Perfect. Brian, pardon me, is Social Security enough to live off of?
No, it's not. And even the IRS will tell you it's not supposed to be your only source of income in retirement. You need more income than just Social Security.
Perfect.
Depends on how poor you are.
Unless you live outside of the U.S.
I think the answer is, I think every scenario is different. That's why we're here to help. But, it's certainly a taking off point. Let's say that. Andrew, are annuities too complicated?
Some are, some aren't. And that's why it depends on what you're looking at, what you need to achieve. And don't be intimidated if a more complicated solution is the best solution.
I thought you were going to say they're only complicated if you talk to Tom.
That's There you go.
I think it's important to note that, and there are annuities can be overwhelming if you really your knowledge base is low, but that's why our goal is to help you understand them and make sure that whatever you're producing is right for you. Is that fair to
Takes far
say?
longer to make the money than it does to ask the questions.
There you go.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Exactly. I love it. Okay,
Wow,
Tom,
profound.
let's see here. Do annuities even help me?
Excuse me?
Do annuities even help me? That's a
They
Oh,
question.
help you a
no.
lot if you have money. I mean, obviously, having investable dollars is a prerequisite to investing in an annuity. But if you want, again, peace of mind and you want to build a foundation on which you can grow or build your proverbial skyscraper, we think that annuities are an extraordinary foundation. Rule of thumb, don't try to build a 100-story skyscraper on a sandy foundation without the pilings into the rock, and the annuities are the pilings into the rock and the concrete.
I think everyone has an annuity. Social Security is an annuity. So if you think Social Security helps you, then,
Boom.
Yep, there you
Pensions
go.
are
the same thing.
annuities.
Yep.
Okay, so Brian, I was looking to you anyway. Do I really need a retirement income plan?
You sure do, because when you're not working and you don't have money coming in from a paycheck, you're going to need to figure out how you pay to live, and you don't want to run out of money before you run out of air.
People
Wonderful.
don't plan to fail, they fail to plan.
There you go.
Okay. Andrew, let's see. What happens if I live longer than I expected?
Get to move in with your kids.
Anyone else want to take a crack at that one?
Yes,
Well,
that's exactly what annuities are best at, is providing guaranteed lifetime income that you cannot outlive, so that you do not become a burden to your kids.
Brian, is it too late to start planning?
No, it's never too late to start planning. Depends on your age too, but the best time to start planning was probably a few years ago, and the second best time is right now.
Let's see here. Tom, can I still retire if the market's down?
Depends on where you were allocated. And if you were allocated through Somerset and Annuity FYI, the answer to that is an emphatic yes.
Why? Because is the answer because the foundation would most likely be annuities?
Foundation.
Wonderful.
If you were walking a tightrope that's 80 feet high, would you prefer to have a safety net 10 feet below you or concrete 80 feet below you?
That's a good one.
Facts.
Wow. Wow. Okay, Andrew, if I buy an annuity, will I lose control of my money?
Depends on what type of annuity you buy. The only time you do lose complete control is on an immediate annuity, but any other type of annuity, you do maintain control of your principal and asset. But an immediate annuity, if you buy a life-only immediate annuity, you're giving up complete control in exchange for the highest income stream that you could possibly have, and the money is gone at your passing, but only on that type. Every other type does not work that way. So that's a common misnomer. But life-only immediate annuity is the only time you lose complete control and the asset if you pass away. Everything else, you don't.
Saturday Night Live and Jack Handy had a good one on that. He used to have these little snippets or whatever, and he said, if you drop your keys in molten lava, forget about it, baby, because they're gone.
All right. And then let's see here.
But you
Brian.
get guaranteed lifetime income that you can't outlive. It's a pension. If you work for a company, remember prior to 1978, when the MK was invented, and it didn't take place until really 1980, they spun it to say that it was better than defined benefits, but the companies wanted out of the defined benefits business. The defined benefits business is the pension business, and they wanted out of it. So if the companies wanted out of it, that tells you it's a good thing for you. Immediate annuities and guaranteed lifetime income from fixed indexed annuities that you can't outlive, those are pensions. That should be telling you that they're good.
We're keeping pensions alive, baby. I think only 9% of companies offer them now.
And in fact, I
Very
think
low.
that Brian and I were just on a really well received webinar about a pensionless society and retiring in a pensionless world, and how annuities can really be that placeholder. So that's something to think about.
Yep.
Okay, so speaking, Brian, this one's for you. Are annuities just for wealthy people?
No, they're not. A lot of times, middle class people are going to be able to really benefit from an annuity and a guaranteed lifetime income stream, and they don't have to worry about drawing down their assets in retirement.
Tom,
Andrew, how would you answer that?
Are they just for wealthy people? It depends on what you're buying and how you can't get blood from a stone. If you don't have any money, you can't buy one, obviously. But
But it's all relative.
it's all relative.
And the
We're all
time to
broke at our
start
own
saving
level.
is now. It takes very, very little money to save monthly if you're 22 and you retire at 62.
Every journey takes its first step.
Yep.
Yeah, and just for the record, I've been in this industry for 10 years. I'm a single parent. I'm paying for my
Available.
son's college. So I'm not a wealthy person, but I myself have 2 annuities and I plan to purchase more. In keeping with Tom's sentiment, it's all about planning and saving even if it's not $100,000, it's just good to talk to someone and see what you can do with the money that you have. As long as you're keeping that liquidity there. So let's see here. I'm going to go give this one to Tom. I know you talk about this a lot, but just kind of some brief words here. Do annuities provide guaranteed income?
Oh my gosh. Yes, inherently. They provide the best guaranteed lifetime income of any investment that's available to the general public and even to the non-general public in most cases.
Andrew, can I still leave money to my kids if I buy an annuity?
Absolutely. The only time you can is with a life-only immediate annuity, but anything else you have, you can have death benefits that will grow and compound. It will leave a large lump sum or an income stream for your children. They're a great way to pass money if you're worried about controlling the funds to your children. And also, too, is the one thing about non-qualified annuities versus IRAs is your children can defer the money and control the taxation over their entire lifetime versus just 10 years with an IRA. So people say there's a huge tax time bomb coming at the end of them. There's not. It's just you just need to properly manage it on the back end.
And on your note about buying an immediate annuity and disinheriting your heirs and getting the special bumper sticker saying, I'm spending my kid's inheritance, you can the reason you bought the immediate annuity was for the biggest monthly check, right?
Living
So
benefits.
you could take a portion of that and buy yourself a guaranteed life insurance policy that will pay off tax-free to your heirs at your passing.
Or you have
So
a smaller drawdown on the rest of your assets, so therefore there's more money to pass.
being
To both of your points, I think when you're looking at annuities and things like that, it's always important to ask, what do you want the annuity to do contractually? What do you want your money to contractually do?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
that's a
absolutely.
good question I always ask.
So Brian, let's see. This one's for you. Let's find a good one for you. Can an annuity keep up with rising costs?
It sure can if you structure them right. I mean, there's plenty of different strategies that you can use, cost of living adjustments or just get a higher, level payment. And that puts you in a position where, your money is you can put your other money kind of in the market to work, let that grow for a long time. And, you can purchase another annuity down the road or set it up and, defer longer. So there's many different kind of strategies. But yes, you're able to deal with inflationary, risk, purchasing power risk.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much. These were real questions that people actually wrote in over time. So if you heard a question and you want more information on it, please contact us. You can put a comment in the comment section or you can ask your own question. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Meg.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
Andrew.
you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Andrew.
If
Thanks,
you
Brian.
call in with a question, you could get any of us on the phone picking up.
You could even get Andrew.
Right straight away. How about that?
All right, so we're bringing more people to the party because this is, in fact, a celebration episode. I'm really excited about this one because I get to bring on some of my favorite people. And these are everyone that, some of the people that support not just Annuity FYI, but our Somerset Wealth Strategies team. So welcome, Derek and Kristen. Derek, I'm so excited you're here. You're such a pleasure to always have on these calls and meetings. And I am very excited to have my very special friend here, Kristen Odermatt, who shares a mother with me. Kristen and I have the pleasure of working about 20 feet away from each other. So it's really wonderful to be able to work with my sister every single day. And we've been able to do it for over a decade now. So it works sometimes. And so we wanted to bring them on to give a few reflections about, why they love working in this industry. What gets them up in the morning. Kristen, do you want to go ahead and share some thoughts?
Sure. Yeah. And I've been here for over a decade and I really love the learning environment and helping people. And, that's really what we get to do every day. And really what I love most about serving retirees is helping people feel confident and secure after decades of working hard, seeing their peace of mind that comes when someone realizes their money can support their lifestyle that they've dreamed of. It's incredibly rewarding. So just being a part of that is wonderful, and it's wonderful to be able to wake up and do that every day. I've always enjoyed working with people who've spent their lives building something, a career, a family, a future, and in helping them protect and enjoy what they've worked very hard for is deeply, deeply satisfying. So I'm very happy to be able to work and do that every day at Somerset and Annuity FYI.
Wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah, Derek, did you have anything you wanted to speak to in terms of
Yeah,
why you love
absolutely.
showing
And
up
I
to
also just
work
want to
every
say
day?
congratulations to Annuity FYI on the 25th anniversary. Congratulations, and it's been nice to be a part of that for 13 years. And yeah, I love this job. Yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while now. I'm 35 years old, and it took me a while to build a decent book. And one of my favorite parts, like Kristen said, like all of you guys said, is helping people. Not only with their finances and retirement, but also physically, mentally, helping them enjoy life, getting them out there and just helping people find something to wake up for, to wake up to. It's very important because you can have all the money in the world if you have no goals or something to wake up for. Retirement can be challenging. So that's one of my favorite parts is helping people in retirement and what they're investing, and also it goes full circle, all right, all around, and to get their finances straight. Let's talk about what else you're doing. And I've seen people that wanted to go on cruises that never made it to the cruise and they passed away. So with doing this for a while, I've seen a lot. We've all seen a lot. Because we all share the same clients. Yeah, that's what I tell people, have fun, live your life, spend some money. Life is fragile and each day is precious, and enjoy it the best you can. So it's one of my favorite parts about this job is helping people, with all that, with everything I just said. So
Yeah.
I love what I do every single day.
But what I will say, because I thought about this when you were speaking earlier, and we talked about when I first got here. I had a very long interview. It was about 2 hours, and it was
You were homeless. Start with that. You were homeless.
no, I was not homeless, but I had this very big interview. It was 6 people in the room, and then there was me. And I wasn't 100% sold just because my career had been completely different beforehand. I was kind of one of those young hip people that thought they knew everything. And one of the things Tom said, and I really I wasn't sold on the finance industry because I'd heard so many things about it and I didn't really understand what it was about. But Tom said something that's always
Math.
stuck with me, and I think it is representational of everybody that's here right now. And that is, we love what we do because we see money as a byproduct of a job well done. And that is what gets me up every day. That's why I love being on this podcast and helping people and reaching out to people is because we truly live and breathe that. And if I didn't feel that way, I would have found it. I would have worked someplace else. I would have worked at a deli. I would have gone someplace else where I really felt like I was adding value to people. But I get to do that every day. I get to bring my little pup to work every day. And it's a wonderful place to work. And we all completely support each other. So I just wanted to add that because that has stuck with me for, like I said, for 12 plus years.
Yep, that's beautiful.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Yeah, to dovetail, people having money isn't enough. You need to have a reason to get up in the morning, to put your feet on the floor. And we take a big interest in our clients' proverbial bucket list, your lifetime punch list, your lifetime goals, whatever you want to call it, because we want to help them achieve those things and realize them, because we're trying to provide the peace of mind through financial independence, as I've said about 10 times today, so that they can get out there and do those things. And if you don't have a reason to get up in the morning and you don't have a passion, no amount of money on the planet is going to help you. So,
Exactly.
you first and foremost, we wish for our clients good health.
Mhm.
Secondly, we wish for them good financial health. And then, certainly being surrounded by loving friends and family and relationships that are positive and, feed your soul.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I just want to say Derek is wonderful, and he's just one of the advisors who, if you have any questions, you can call in and speak to. Kristen is a really wonderful representation of the hard work that goes into supporting the business in terms of servicing our clients. The advisors are here to help and answer questions through the sales process, and they need strong assistance and a back office to assist, through the paperwork because we really pride ourselves on taking the time, with clients to go through the paperwork, the pages one by one to make sure they understand everything.
Hey, The producers told me we're getting off topic in here. Meg's on mute and she just keeps talking. We've already told her.
That's lovely.
Nope,
Still,
You're
You
still
sound
muted.
great.
You're still
You
muted.
sound
No, I'm
great.
not.
The
Join in.
most I enjoyed this was when Meg tried to speak and she couldn't.
Yeah.
You're really
Ugh.
you're going off topic a lot, Tom. All right, well, thank you so much for popping in, Brian, and thanks, Kristen and Derek, for joining us today. I hope to see you on future episodes. You guys are wonderful. Don't be a stranger. Okay.
thank you for
Don't be
having
a
Thanks for
us.
stranger.
having us. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks,
Happy
everybody.
Friday.
Too,
Brian,
Bye, Dee.
Brian, you stay
Bye,
with
Kristen.
us.
I'm staying.
You stay with us. There you go. Okay.
I just want to say I was awesome.
Tom, you were fabulous. You were 100% Tom Hamlin today. I'd just like to take a couple of minutes before we wrap things up and have another special treat for the viewers and just talk about like what's the future of Annuity FYI. What do you see in terms of continuing education, transparency? Tom, you'll love this part, leveraging AI. So if you guys want to take a couple minutes each to speak to that, that'd be helpful.
Who first?
Go ahead, Brian. I'm writing something down. Meg just gave me an idea.
I mean, a lot of great work has been done over the years, but there's a heck of a lot more to do. You've got tens of thousands of people turning 65 every day that need guidance in, to and through retirement. And, we want to just help as many people as we can. Technology is just increasing. I mean, and I think all of this information on annuities and retirement is getting more accessible. So we just want to do everything we can to provide education and resources and put all this information in the hands of the consumer. And, I am really just happy to be a part of this team. And I'm happy to be able to kind of put in the work to help all the people that we haven't helped yet in the future. That's what I have to
Thanks,
say
Brian.
about that.
My turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. You go.
Why don't you,
Before I
why
cut
don't
you off.
Why don't
No,
you say something like,
It's Casper's turn.
here comes Tom.
Here comes
Like what?
Tom.
Oh, hey. So yeah, it's kind of like the airlines. We realize that there's a lot of airlines and we realize that you have a lot of choices and we appreciate your flying with us. And it's really, I mean, we are in an information age that's daunting and overwhelming. People are being overly inundated with emails and phone calls and solicitors and everything, junk mail, and your mind is spinning and racing, and it's awful. I mean, we're all getting hit with it. And so the question is, how do you build trust and confidence so that people come to you time and time again? And that's always been our goal, we're not selling timeshare over here where, you walk out of the room and you look at your spouse and say, what the hell did we just sign up for? What did we just commit to? We want people to not suffer from buyer's remorse, but to benefit from the feeling that, man, I feel like we've really done something right here and that we're building something wonderful with this group. And again, we're incredibly passionate about what we do. And going forward basis, there's going to be more and more in terms of AI, and it's the path forward. And it's our goal to have people purchasing annuities online with minimal assistance from us. We're going to be the phone a friend, but we want people to be able to get through the process for the most part on their own and to be able to do their own research and to choose their own annuities, but always know that they can contact us if they need an explanation or they need help. But that's the future of this industry and every industry. And, fees are going to be lower and people are going to be expecting more. And the computers and AI are going to be doing far more. And if you embrace it, your lives are going to be better. And if you don't, you're going to be left behind.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, I think we have a lot in store for the future, and I'm so excited to take this ride with you guys. So, thank you so much.
Thanks, Meg.
Yeah,
You too.
thanks.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you, Brian.
Okay, so now we're going to bring everyone
Appreciate
in.
you. You're appreciated.
Okay. All right, here is my favorite part of today's show, and this is the big surprise. I get to have our entire team on. Of course, this isn't the entire team, but these are some of the wonderful, beautiful faces that we get to see and work with every single day. So not only do I have Tom back with us and Brian back and Andrew, but we also have Derek and Kristen back with us. So Derek Stamos and Kristen Odermatt. And then we have Porsche Anthony and Megan Sinegar, two of my favorite people that I get to work about 15 feet away from at the office. They, along with Kristen and myself, are part of what we call the A team. And, if we are so lucky to have anyone that's listening be a client or a call-in, we'd love to help you. And, that's what they're here for. So real quick here, does anyone want to tell a quick or brief story about how they've been able to help someone or something that's really stuck out in their mind over the past 25 years for you and Tom and Andrew, but over the past couple of years that you've been able to work with Annuity FYI in Somerset and help clients?
I'll jump in for a quick second. I've had the opportunity to work here for almost 3 years now, and within that, I think one of my favorite parts about serving the retirees and the clients of Annuity FYI is kind of just getting to know the life stories and helping them make the most of their next chapter, which is retirement. And while what I do a lot of the times would be considered behind the scenes or something like that, I know that I make a real difference. And I feel incredibly rewarded and proud to help and be a part of a team that helps run things as efficiently and smoothly as possible for our clients so that they don't have to worry and they can do more about what they want to do, and that's enjoy their retirement.
Yeah, and you're really great at it, Porsche. Yeah.
Everyone at Somerset has a beautiful heart, and we're genuine. We care, and that's a quick little soundbite of how we care. Thank you, Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Senegar, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to jump in. Well, thank you and happy birthday, happy anniversary, Annuity FYI. It's been such a pleasure to help our client base over the years. We are in such a unique position with such a specialized skill and knowledge set to be able to help our clients navigate questions that they may have about, the products that they are interested in, purchasing, or, they're looking at exploring aspects of the annuities that they already have. And I think that it's great that we are completely independent, that we can partner with our advisors and our entire team to really solve our clients' problems and give them, peace of mind. It's been such a rewarding experience, and it's certainly increased my knowledge base in an area that I never dreamed I would have this much information at my fingertips to be able to help people with. And that's been wonderful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Tom. I just want to say, without this website, I don't know if all of us would be here today. So,
You wouldn't.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Especially,
no.
and I'm bringing another person to the party. This is Buddy. He's our CCO, the Chief Comfort Officer here. So I just wanted to make sure he was able to show up today. And I just want to thank you all for being a part of the Annuity FY family, not just everyone I have here on this party, on this anniversary episode, but all of the listeners and all of the viewers, whether you've been tuning in for 25 years or you are just joining us today for the first time. Here's to clarity, confidence, and the road ahead. I'm Megan Odermatt, as always, and we'll see you on the next episode of Conquering Retirement with Annuity FY. Please feel free to subscribe or, put a question in the comments section. We'd love to help. All of us would. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, team. Love you guys. Thank you.
That's a wrap on this episode of Conquering Retirement with Annuity FY. Ready to take control of your future? Call 1-866-223-2121 to speak with one of the guests on our show and get your questions answered today. Visit annuityfy.com for more information and to contact us online. Follow the show and make sure to turn on notifications so that you'll never miss a tip, strategy, or breakthrough moment.